I think a feeling of disappointment and sadness for all the millions of Afghanis who are struggling in what has been a very difficult period over the past year. I've heard it described as one great long black tunnel since the Taliban came back to take control of the country on the 15th of August 2021, and not much hope, I don't think, for millions of people that the situation is going to improve anytime soon, and certainly not for the millions of Afghan women who, despite pledges by the Taliban, it has to be said those pledges have been broken practically all the way down the line since the Doha Accords, that the situation for women was going to remain better than it had been when the Taliban were last in power up until 2001. We've seen almost no change there, and I think an absolute catastrophic situation for them and for millions of people around the country who are facing hardship and, worst of all, famine. And as I said, not really any hope of any immediate relief coming anytime soon from anywhere.
What about the international community? Because there is this question, Philip, about the need to help Afghan people who are suffering, millions of people pushed into poverty in the last year, but without helping the Taliban at the same time.
And that is the big dilemma facing the international community, because I think none of us can be indifferent to the suffering that is going on there. And everybody with a heart would want to help all those people who are struggling, children in hospitals who are dying because they can't get the right equipment and the right medication, people who can't earn enough money to make ends meet, people who've been, for example, I'll give you some facts and figures if you like, which will put all this into perspective. 700,000 jobs lost over the past year. Sanctions have cost the country $9.2 billion in lost aid. The economy shrunk by between 20 and 30%. And 90% of the 40 million or so Afghans are now living in a situation of food insecurity. So that's seen an increase, for example, in the number of coal mines which are springing up around the country. There's a very interesting report in the Le Monde daily paper today about the fact that there's been an increase in the number of coal mines digging coal out. You've got young children in there trying to earn money to support their families. 80 coal mines now around the country. This is something that's going against the general trend towards trying to clamp down on fossil fuels to prevent global warming. So all the way down the line, we've seen this situation where, yes, well, we'd like to help the Taliban. We'd like to send in international aid. We'd like to not help the Taliban. We'd like to help the people of Afghanistan, but without helping the Taliban. We'd like to send in international aid, but how do we do that to stop that international aid from being taken over by the Taliban and used in a fraudulent manner? And I think that is the big dilemma facing the international community, the United States, the European Union, the United Nations. It's very difficult to know exactly how to remedy this situation. And at the same time, all these millions of people around the country are still suffering badly and have no reason to believe that, unfortunately, it's going to change anytime soon.
Philip Turle, thank you.